just like, prepping them for what's actually really finna happen, man. It says, for the devils come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. Right. And, the Lord's speeding these prophecies up. And, these elites know it. So they moving faster. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 68. For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you. And that's talking about the like the FEMA troops, the National Guards, them troops, man, is gonna come down onto Jake. That's why they brought in the National Guard. For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you being idle, with things offered unto idols. And that's talking about the RFID chip. Because what's going to happen is the least going to bring in this new world order and put a clamp down on Jake and force Jake to take this RFID chip, man. Everything that you see now is just the catalyst to bring it up to the new world order with the RFID chip and the concentration camps, man. It says, and they that consent unto them shall be hid in derision and in reproach and trodden underfoot. So even if you do take the chip, you're going to be fucked up. It says, for there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. Right, and then they're going to try to come down on us, man. They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as gold in the fire. Right, so, once you start to see these prophecies come to pass, you're going to know who the Lord's chosen is, because we've been prophesying about this, since the Lord woke us up. And the apostles have been prophesying about this since, the 1960s, 1970s, man. And, the message has never changed, man. But, that's it for the lesson. I got a couple more videos that I'm going to upload with this, segment. That's, David Clark with his speech and, so on and so forth. But all praise to God by Shema Shai, divine elders and apostles that rule well. Salutations to the brothers that's been true for sincerity. Shalom.
Into state active duty members of the National Guard under the following circumstances. Number one, in the case of war, insurrection, rebellion, riot, invasion, terrorism, blah, blah, blah. Number two, in the event of public disaster resulting from floods, fires, tornadoes, or other natural disaster. Number three, if the governor declares a state of emergency relating to public health. Number four, in order to assess damage or potential damage, and to recommend responsive action as a result of an event in the listed in subs 1 to 3 that I just read. And here's the important one for me. Number five, upon application of any marshal of the United States, the president of any village, the mayor of any city, the chairperson of any town, or any sheriff in the state. So I do have the authority to call the governor and request those resources. I did it because we were, like I said, I cannot emphasize this enough. All right, I can't guarantee what's going to happen tonight, but I said we cannot have a repeat.
Now, you called.
Well, just hold on. So, knowing these resources, and to answer your question directly, the military does not perform a law enforcement function. Okay, the military acts as a force multiplier to certain things that the General Dunbar will determine. Let's stay out of it. But you got to have them ready. That's why I pointed out to Ferguson, the mayor made the call, the governor get the National Guard, it never came. That's their problem. Baltimore, they decided they didn't need the National Guard. I'm one of those better safe than sorry. You were better off having the resources at the ready. Okay, deployment is up to the general.
I get that part. I was wondering though, once they're in deploy, once they're in position, who will say, I need them now at such and such corner? Is that your call? Is that the mayor's call? Is that the police chief's call?
Either.
So you called the mayor.
But that's between those two. And then I called General Dunbar and said I've spoken to the governor. You got to keep these people in the loop. The statute's clear. It says you got to inform the governor. The governor makes the decision whether these forces are going to mobilize. And all that means is they go to their armories and they start getting their equipment. That's all it means. And they're on standby. All right? And if this thing goes to crap, like in Ferguson or Baltimore, then we would start making requests because the resources can't handle it. And then they would deploy under the general's orders in a fashion that's conducive for what soldiers do, and it's not law enforcement. Okay, so that's something that's worked out with the general. Right? He's a bright guy. He understands military command and the purpose of the military, and we're getting way ahead of ourselves. All right, I want redundancy in these resources. So I got my on-duty personnel. It's one layer. I've called up every off-duty deputy and said, get in here. Suit up, get in here. It's a redundancy, another layer. Okay? We'll extend shifts if we have to. That's another layer. And then the National Guard resources is another. But you see, that's way out there. So, don't get all hung up on that. I'm not going to get caught like Ferguson and Baltimore. Not going to happen. Because you all will stand up here and rightfully so and say, Sheriff, doesn't seem like you guys were prepared for this, and then what am I going to say?
So as you look at the plan between what you have with what Milwaukee police have, with what the National Guard has deployed, I think the police chief said he's going to have 150 officers available tonight. Do you think there's enough in position to keep the city safe?
I don't know. You make estimates based on, some of it's based on what happened last night, but if you had what you had last night, you're going to end up with the same result. So I don't know how they came up with the number of 150. I'm not saying it is or isn't, but if it's not, guess what? I got some reinforcements. All my off-duty people are in place. So it's about being prepared for the worst. You hope for the best. Hope's not a plan. You prepare for the worst. And if you never need all these, fantastic. I'm not going to be Baltimore and Ferguson.
Sheriff, have you been in direct contact with Chief Flynn yet today?
My inspector, through our point person, Captain Colin Briggs, that's where those discussions take place.
The mayor said at his news conference that